We've got a race to call. The Fox News decision desk has called the Senate race for Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz officially deemed the winner in this race over his Democratic challenger. That is according to the Fox News decision desk. Matt, you're a little surprised this early, but they've got their ways of trying to figure this out.
I'm not surprised, to be clear, I'm not surprised at this outcome.
Yes.
I mean, I would have predicted that Cruz would win this seat. But I think in his heart of hearts, he expected to sweat it out a little more than this. I don't think he expected to have the race called by 8:30. I mean, I'm sure he's delighted, and there'll be a party at Cruz headquarters. But I think that he went into today thinking it might be a little closer than this.
Yeah, and then, I mean, you know, we've talked at nauseum about the uphill climb that Democrats have, right? But, I mean, there were some elements of an Allred campaign and some things that could have been possibly stacked against Republicans that would give Cruz some cause for concern. More women showing up to vote over the abortion issue. While Texas didn't have a constitutional amendment on the ballot, that's still one of the reasons why some women went to the polls. You have a change of the top of the ticket where Kamala Harris brings more energy to Democrat voters. And so now the question is, what went wrong for Democrats? Is it the turnout in the urban counties? What went wrong for Democrats is the question.
That is the question. And the reason Kamala Harris came here in the last couple of weeks and held that big event in Houston was not because she thought she could beat Texas, but it was to bolster this race, where the two candidates spent about $160 million on this Senate seat. So she came here. It was a battle over women's rights that she stuck the flag down there in Houston, hoping to bolster Colin Allred.
And I think that Democrats, in hindsight, might look at this and say, did we lean too hard into the abortion issue, making it the centerpiece of our campaign? Because clearly it's an issue that can work for them with some important constituencies, right? It can serve to mobilize some young women, single women, et cetera. But it may have been that there were other voters who said, every ad that I see for Colin Allred is about abortion. And, you know, surely there's more to this campaign than, quote unquote, Ted Cruz's abortion ban, of which there's really no such thing. We talked about, you know, because that's a state level initiative.
And Cruz made that point clear in the last week.
Yeah, that's right. So they may regret that strategy of being too single issue focused.
And Democrats could, and we still have a long ways to go, could benefit off of that being a singular issue nationwide in states that matter for Democrats. But in this race, catering to people where you have the border is still a huge issue in Texas and nationwide, but in Texas. And then the economy. I mean, people's talking about their bills at their kitchen table with their families. I mean, that goes a long way. And you have a president and an administration that is not as popular right now. And so, you know, uphill climb for Colin Allred, and it may be that the abortion strategy did not work.